Welcome students. In this class we are dealing with some problems related to fictitious force. In the last class we have already discussed what is a fictitious force or pseudo force. It is a force that does not act on a particle but appears due to the acceleration of that particular frame. Okay. So in this class we are doing some worked out examples related to this fictitious force. So first question is, a man weighing 60 kg on earth, find the fictitious force acting on him and his effective weight when he is in a lift. First case, which move upward direction, and second case, downward direction with an acceleration of 2 meter per second square. Here they have given that g should be taken as 10 meter per second square. So in the last class we have already discussed what are the equations when a lift is moving upward and in the downward direction. A man inside this lift experiences a certain kind of force, and what will be the expression of this force is already discussed in the last class. So first case, lift moving upwards. So we know that in every cases the fictitious force act on a particle is equal to minus ma0. M here it is given as 60 kg and A acceleration A is equal to 2 meter per second square. So it is simply you have to substitute it. It is equal to minus 60 into 2. It is equal to minus 120 Newton is the fictitious force when the lift is moving upward. So in this case the total force can be calculated using the equation minus m into g plus a0. Here g should be taken as 10 meter per second square. So our equation becomes minus 60 into 10 plus 2, minus 60 into 12, which is equal to minus 720 Newton. So in this case we got the expression for force. So we have to find out what will be the effective weight. If we know the force in Newton, it can be converted into kilogram. So for that we should use the relation 1 kilogram is equal to 9.8 Newton. 9.8 means g, acceleration due to gravity. So 1 kilogram is equal to 9.8 Newton. So from this expression 1 Newton can be calculated by taking this 9.8 into the left side. So 1 by 9.8 is equal to 1 Newton. 1 by 9.8 kilogram is equal to 1 Newton. Here we have 720 Newton. So we have to multiply that factor by 720. So 1 by 9.8 into 720 gives the corresponding weight in kilogram. Okay. But here we have to take g as 10 meter per second square. That is the data given in our question. So here we are dividing 1 by 10. Okay. 1 by 10 kilogram is equal to 1 Newton. But if it is not given that g should be taken as 10 meter per second square, we have to divide 1 by 9.8 to get the corresponding weight in kilogram. Okay. So here 1 by 10 into 720, which is equal to the weight in kilogram. So 720 by 10 gives 72. So 72 kilogram is the effective weight. Okay. That is the first question. And I am moving to second question. A rocket moving upwards with an acceleration 2g, compute the effective weight of a man standing in it when his actual mass is 70 kg. Okay. This question is also similar to the previous one. Here a man is standing inside a lift, and here a rocket is not in a lift, is in the case of a rocket which is moving in upward direction. His weight is given as 70 kg. In acceleration is 2g, 2 into 9.8. Okay. So we have to use the equation f is equal to minus m into g plus a0. Here m is equal to 70 kg, a0 equal to 2g. So we have to simply substitute this, and f is equal to minus 70 into g plus 2g, which is 3g. So 70 into 3g gives 210. So we have a minus sign. So minus 210g. So this should be converted into kilogram for finding this effective weight. So here I multiply 210g with 1 by 9.8. So G in the numerator is 9.8 and we have 1 by 9.8. This 9.8 cancel out. So we get effective weight as 210 kilogram weight. That's 210 kilogram. This minus sign denotes that this weight is, or this force acting in the downward direction. Okay. In this question also we have the equation minus mg plus a0. Okay. This is a simple question, and I am moving to the third question, that is find the fictitious force okay. Find the fictitious force and total force acting on a body of mass 3 kg related to a frame moving vertically upward from earth with an acceleration of 10 meter per second square. G should be taken as 9.8 meter per second square. In this case, here a frame is moving vertically upward direction from the earth. Earth is moving with an acceleration of 10 meter per second square. Here we have to calculate the fictitious force and also the total force acting on the body. The fictitious force is given by the equation minus ma0. Here mass is 3 kg. So minus 3 into a0, which is 10 meter per second square. So we get minus 30 Newton. So force acting on a body which is moving upward with an acceleration a0 is given by the equation F is equal to minus m g plus a0. Here m is equal to 3 kg, g is equal to 9.8 meter per second square, and a0 is also a0 is equal to 10 meter per second square. I simply substitute this value in this equation. I got minus 59.4 Newton. This minus sign indicates the force acts in downward direction. So here we have to write this, the meaning of this negative sign in each and every case. That means the force is acting in the downward direction. Okay. Then I am moving to another problem, that is an apple of mass 250 gram falls freely under gravity. What is the fictitious force and total force on it? With reference to a frame moving with an acceleration of 3 meter per second square in the downward direction. So if I go through this problem, first I will consider the idea that this is a free fall case. But we have to read the second sentence carefully. What is the fictitious force and the total force on it with reference to a frame moving with an acceleration of 3 meter per second square in the downward direction? That is the main point in this question. Here we have to consider the motion of the particle in the downward direction. So in the last class we have discussed, in the case of free fall, a man inside the lift will be feel weightlessness because that factor, the force is 0. So but here it is not in the case of a lift. Here it is we are considering the moving a frame which is moving with an acceleration of 3 meter per second square in the downward direction. So we have to use the equation for finding out the force in the case of downward direction, not in the case of free fall. So that is the point should be remembered. So here m is equal to 250 gram. It should be converted into kilograms. That's why I divide it with 1000. I got 0.25 kilogram. A0 is equal to 3 meter per second square. Okay. Then fictitious force is equal to minus ma0. Since I am considering the motion in the downward direction, a0 should be taken as minus 3. Okay. Then fictitious force become minus 0.25 into minus 3, which is positive 0.75 N. That's Newton. Here the final result does not contain any minus sign. That means this force acts upward direction. Okay. Then total force should be calculated by using the equation minus m into g minus a0. So minus 0.25 into 9.8 minus 3. In this case, a0 is not taken as minus because when I derived the expression for the force acting in the downward direction, I have already given a minus sign to A0. That is why our final expression becomes minus mg minus A0. Okay, when I derived it, I have already given that minus sign to the A0 in the case of the downward direction. That's why I am not again applying this minus sign to the value of A0. So here I got minus 0.25 into 6.8, that is minus 1.7 Newton, which act downwards. Okay, so simple case, we have to consider the equation for the force acting on a particle in the downward direction. Okay, these are the problems in the fictitious force topic. Next, I am moving to another topic. This is a simple topic, that is centrifugal force. This is a simple topic, you have already know that. Centrifugal force. First you have to consider the figure, that here I am considering a mass or a stone which is moving in a circular path. Okay, here m denotes the mass of the particle. Here I am considering two frames, that is S frame and S dash frame. S frame is represented by the axis x axis and y axis. At the same time, S dash axis is denoted by x dash and y dash axis. O is the origin. Here two kind of forces are acting in this case. That is a force which is acting in the outward direction from the origin, and at the same time a force is acting in the inward direction. Okay, when a stone is rotating in a circular path, this stone is experiencing some sort of force in the center, towards the center. Okay, at the same time there is another force which is acting from the origin. These are the two kind of force acting in this case. So here we are dealing with the centrifugal force. So I have to consider a mass m moving on the circumference of a circle of radius r. Okay, it is moving with an angular velocity omega. In the case of inertial frame, the centripetal force acting on the particle is Fi. Fi denotes the inertial force in the inertial frame. It's equal to minus m omega square r. Okay. Suppose that a frame is rotating with an angular velocity omega relative to an inertial frame. Here inertial frame is S frame and the rotating frame which is moving with an angular velocity is S dash frame. So in this case we have to consider an important point, that is relative to the inertial frame, that rotating frame experience no mass. That means the moving particle does not have any mass, or it is in a state of rest when we are considering it with respect to that inertial frame. So in the case of second frame, in the case of the rotating frame, this particle is in a state of rest. So we know that this stone is rotating, or this particle is moving in a circular direction, but in the case of rotating frame, this mass m is at a state of rest. Okay, but in the case of inertial frame, it is moving in the circumferences of a circle, but in the second frame, in the rotating frame, this mass is at a state of rest. Okay, then in the case of non-inertial frame, but in the previous slide we have explained the case of inertial frame, the force is minus m omega square r, but in the case of non-inertial frame, the observed acceleration an of the mass is 0. The reason is that in the second frame this particle is at a state of rest. It is not moving, so there is no velocity. If there is no velocity, then acceleration is 0. So here the acceleration an is 0, but the total force should be calculated using the equation Fn is equal to Fi plus Fo, that is the force in the inertial frame plus force in the fictitious force Fo, which is equal to 0. Okay, if A is equal to 0, m into A gives force. So if A is 0, then force will be equal to 0. So I wrote this 0 in the right side. So substitute the value of Fy, we get Fn is equal to minus m omega square plus Fo, fictitious force, which is equal to 0. Then minus m omega square plus F0 equal to 0. Then I am taking this minus m omega square r to the right side. I got F0 is equal to m omega square r. This fictitious force is directed away from the center and is called centrifugal force. In this expression, we do not have any minus sign. That means this force is directed away from the center. If a force is directed away from the center, it does not contain any minus sign. That is why this is a fictitious force which is directed away from the center and is called centrifugal force. Then the definition of the centrifugal force is: centrifugal force is a fictitious force acting on a particle at a rest with respect to a non-inertial frame. Here it is a force. Centrifugal force is a force which is acting on a particle at a rest with respect to a non-inertial frame. So here we have to consider the non-inertial frame which is at a state of rest and the fictitious force. When we combine these three factors, we will get the definition of centrifugal force. That is, centrifugal force is a fictitious force which is acting on a particle at a rest with respect to a non-inertial frame. Okay. Then a simple problem. A 2 kg stone attached to a 1 meter long string which makes 3 revolutions per second. Calculate the forces acting on the stone as measured in an inertial frame and in a frame rotating with a string. Here we have to consider the force acting on the stone in the inertial frame and in the case of the rotating frame too. Okay, here the force acting on the stone in the inertial frame is given by the equation Fi is equal to minus m omega square r. M is given as 2 kg and r is 1 meter, and here a data is given that which makes 3 revolutions per second. It is the number of revolutions per second, which is the frequency. Okay, that's why I denote it as nu is equal to 3. Number of rotation per second or number of revolutions per second is the frequency. So I know that the angular velocity can be expressed in terms of this frequency. So omega is equal to 2 pi nu. So in the expression of Fi is equal to minus m omega square r, I have to write 2 pi nu in the place of omega. Okay. So our equation 1 becomes Fi is equal to minus m into 2 pi nu whole square into r. So minus 2 into 2 pi into 3 whole square into 1. So I got minus 2 into 354.9456, which is minus 709.891 Newton. It can be rounded as minus 709.9 Newton. So the final expression has a negative sign which denotes that the force is acting towards the center. Then the centrifugal force acting on the string is given by Fo, that is the fictitious force. Fo is equal to m omega square r. We already calculated m omega square, so we got the expression final result as F0 is equal to 709.9 n. Here we do not have any minus sign. That means this force is acting in the outward direction. That means directed away from the center. So we have calculated this Fo, the fictitious force, to substitute in the expression of the total force. So we have to substitute Fi, force in the inertial frame, and the fictitious force to find out the total force acting on the particle. So Fn, that is the total force acting on the rotating frame, Fn is equal to Fi plus F0. Here we have to substitute these values. We will get the final result as 0. Okay. I hope in this class we have discussed some worked out examples related to this fictitious force. Then I taught a simple topic, that is centrifugal force, which is a force which is directed away from the center. It is a force which is directed away from the center which is also a kind of fictitious force. The standard definition is the centrifugal force is a fictitious force which is acting on a particle at a rest with respect to a non-inertial frame. So I think these points and this simple topic is clear to you, and thank you.